What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with another review for Power Book 2. Child, I always want to say Power Book 3, Raising Canaan, when I come on, but it's Power Book 2, Ghost, you guys. Now, speaking of Raising Canaan, real quickly, you guys, Raising Canaan returns this winter. So we only have, with Ghost, we only have 2 more episodes into the finale. So 3 episodes. So next week and then the week after, and then I don't know if they're going to take any breaks. I hope they really shouldn't take any breaks, considering we were off from July to September. So I feel like we're just going to run smoothly all the way through. But neither here nor there. This is season 4, episode number 8, you guys. And this episode was titled, I Can't Fix This. Now, before we do get into it, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and then having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this episode of Ghost, shall we? All right, you guys, so they are playing music down by the pool again today. So I'm seriously hoping that you guys don't hear the music. I'm hoping that with this microphone, you just hear me. I'm gonna pray because baby, I cannot lose any money with this video, but that's neither here nor there. So we're gonna start up with Creepy Don, you guys. So we see, you guys remember in last week's episode that Creepy Don took out Kamal Tate. So we see Tate is at the morgue with Creepy Don outside. I'm like, damn, nigga. Like, you took this man's brother out and you got your raggedy ass outside of the morgue. Cool. So Tate asked Creepy Don, like, yo, who did this to my brother? And, you know, because he said, whoever did this to my brother, they're gonna pay, right? So Creepy Don says, well, you know that this case is currently ongoing. And at this time, I can't really, disclose that information to you, right? So Tate told him, like, man, fuck all that noise. Like, whoever did this to my brother, that motherfucker is gonna pay, right? So Creepy Don is telling him that, well, it must have been one of the Russians because, you know, from the drug bust. And I was like, okay, so Tate is a smart person. I'm like, so never mind. We'll talk about it as we get into it, because the way Creepy Don played this out, it was very sloppy, but we'll talk about it. So then we see Creepy Don. So he went to go he's talking to Felicia and to Nico. I did not know that man's name until this episode. So he asked them if there were any leads, and she says to him, no. And she says to him, like, I've never known you to bend over to a dirty politician. And he was like, what the fuck are you talking about, right? So then Nico and Felicia are talking, and with it, they're poking holes in it because they're questioning, like, how did the Russians do this when they all dispersed? They didn't have enough time to even formulate. They wouldn't have even had enough time to formulate a plan because this was done literally the same day that we did the bust. And I was like, ooh, I think Nico is on your ass. And then I realized at this moment, I was like, oh, Creepy Don didn't even tell them that he did it. But I got, from what we watched, I could guess that Creepy Don did. I guess Creepy Don told Nico and Felicia that, you know, Kamal was closing in on them, and he was starting to put, 2 plus 2 equaling 4 together, because that's what they were saying. And because Felicia was like, well, our problem is gone, so therefore we shouldn't really give a damn because he was closing in on us. If the Russians did take him out, they did us a favor, right? So after that, he went into his office. Actually, before that, he told them, like, if Rashad has any questions, then we're going to answer his questions. So he went into his office, right? And Nico came in and told him, like, hey, Drew says that, Roman is going to be a problem and he wants to make a deal, right? So then we see, as later in the episode, Creepy Don pulled up on Felicia, asking Felicia, like, yo, so you put hands on Diana? And he told her, like, Monet wants your head. And she said, fuck her and her daughter. I was like, those gonna be the famous last words, huh? So he asked her, like, are you using again? And she's like, what? He's like, are you using again? He's like, she was pregnant. Did you know that? And she was like, how the hell would I know that she was pregnant, right? She said, what I did was I asked her to go take out Zion, and then she ended up sending Tariq to do it. He was like, but I asked you to do it. She's like, I was tied up with that IAB stuff, right? And he was like, wait a minute. First of all, how the hell do you know that Tariq did this? He's like, fuck. So she showed him the video of the safe house, right? And she's like, I got it off the server so no one else will be able to find her, right? So he told her, go home and don't tell anyone, including Nico. So then we see as she was getting ready to leave and she was being watched by Diana. So then we see Creepy Don and Nico. So remember, allegedly the Russians are the ones who took out Kamal, right? So we see as they have found where the Russians are. So they're going to be going in to bust the Russians, right? So they got one of the Russians. Creepy Don went up by himself with a Russian who was trying to get out the window. So he slammed the window down on the man's hand. Then he took his blicky and popped him. And then he took another one and popped it towards the door, right? I was like, I was like, if Nico's in the other room with you, right? Like, because of how he's trying to make it seem like it was, gunfire. But I was like, that's not, because you heard one gunshot first, then you heard the second one. So I was like, that's not a well executed plan if you want your guy to not catch on to you, right? So what he did was he took his gun that he used to take out Kamal and put it in that guy's hand, so he has his other gun with him, right? And so he's telling Nico, we got that motherfucker. And he was like, so, and Nico was questioning, and I was like, I think Nico is putting two and two together. So he told Nico to run ballistics, and so he'll go give the good news to Tate. So we see as, Rashad and Creepy Don are at the morgue, right? And he showed him the guy, and he was like, are you sure that this is the guy? And Creepy Don is like, well, the ballistics that matched, the ballistics from Kamal's autopsy, right? And so Tate spit on him. I was like, ew, that's nasty. And so while they're in there, Drew texts him saying, Roman is taken care of, but we need to talk about Diana, right? So Tate is telling him, like, you know what, good job. If there's anything that you need from me, holla at me, and I got you, right? So that's wrapped up in I guess a nice little bow. I don't think so, because I really do think that that's going to come back to bite Creepy Don in the behind. But you guys, let me know what you guys think. And we're going to go ahead and move on, you guys. So we're going to talk about Tariq first, and then we'll wrap up with the Tejadas. So we see Tariq. So Tariq has left the hospital with Diana, and we'll go in deeper detail with Diana in just a little bit. So Tariq called Davis up, who was at the gym working out, and Davis was like, this is a little early for you. So Tariq told him about Diana getting beat up by one of Creepy Don's cops, and he just needs to get the address for him and the rest of his team, right? So Davis asked him, like, Tariq, what are you up to? And Tariq told him, don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. So he eventually, like I said, he eventually told Davis about Diana's situation, and he needs to take care of the shit today, right? And Davis told him to, take a beat, and Tariq told him, no, you hurry the fuck up. So then Noma texts Davis saying she needs to see him ASAP. So we see Davis. So Davis went to go see Noma, and, Davis told Noma, like, Tariq took out your Roman situation, not your Roman situation, but your Zion situation, right? But you still have another problem, like the Wiley thing. You don't have anybody that can help you, and it's gonna take me some time before I can find someone else who can do the things that Wiley was doing for you. And on top of that, you still have your issues with them, with your U.S. citizenship, right? So he told her, but you know what you could do to make those things go away? What you could do is make someone that, you trust or that you can control a majority owner of your company in here in the U.S., a U.S. citizen that is, right? So we see as Tariq got back to the dorm, Braden is there. He woke up and Braden is just yapping off at the mouth, right? So Tariq went towards the closet, got his blicky out, right? And Braden was like, "Whoa, what the fuck is going on, Reek?" And he was like, he told him what happened with Diana. And Braden was like, "Well, I can come with you." He said, "No, I can do this on my own." So there was a knock at the door, and they opened the door. Braden called the guy Snowflake. I don't know if that's the man's name or not, right? But old boy came in there basically telling them like, "Yo, y'all niggas is fired, right?" And they were like, "Wait a minute, why we fired?" And he was like, "We know what's going on. Like, we, the group, know what's going on. But here's my thing. The little drug addict that's with Braden, I'm pretty sure she know what's going on because Braden has pillow talk to her. So you need to go talk to your group member as well, my ninja. Go talk to her." So Tariq was about ready to beat his ass, right? But Braden was like, "No, Tariq, we can't do that." And so Braden was telling Tariq, like, "You know what? I'm not the person that's going, that can talk you down. So why don't you go talk to somebody that you can trust, right?" And so we see as Tariq went to go see Tasha, right? Tasha asked him, like, "What are you doing here?" And he told her some kind of a lie. And she's like, "Tariq, I know you, and I know that you're not telling me the truth." But before she could get anything from him, Yaz came in and said, "Tariq, I want to show you my room." I was like, "Oh, God, I forgot about this little girl." I forgot about Yasmin. I forgot about Yasmin. But I think sometimes Tasha and Ghost also forgot about Yasmin because I forgot about that little girl. I truly did. And I forgot how she annoys me. So he finally came out of the room and Tasha asked him, like, "Are you or are we in any kind of danger?" And Tariq says, "No." And so she said, he's like, "Why you say that?" She says, "Because your father used to have that same look on his face that you have." And he's like, "I'm not Ghost, and whatever I'm in, I can fix it, Ma." And so then he eventually did tell, Tasha about, Diana being pregnant and how the dirty cop beat her up and she lost the baby. So, Tasha, he's talking to her and he's telling her how Diana is mad at him, which I don't agree with Diana being mad at him because you brought this upon yourself, little girl. Because Felicia asked you to go take out Zion and you're the one that chose not to go take out Zion. Now, is it your fault that Felicia beat the hell out of you? Absolutely not. That ain't your fault. That ain't got nothing to do with you. That she decided to just rag tag on you. So I got where Tasha was coming from when it comes to Diana because Diana has always had people to protect her, be it her mom, her dad, her brothers, and even Tariq. And in this particular situation, she asked Tariq to help her, and he did help her, but then, this dirty cop did what she did to her, right? And so Diana just wants to exact her revenge. Am I mad at Diana? Absolutely not. I'm really not mad at her, right? But Tasha told Tariq, like, whatever you do, be smart and be strategic about what you do, right? He's like you did when you shot Monet. She's like, "That bitch don't know I shot her." So so he got a text message from Davis. Davis says, "I got the information that you need. Give me a call," right? And so we see as Tariq, he left, right? So he called Davis. He told him, like, "Hey, Davis, the information that you got for me, I no longer need it. So we good, right?" And Davis like, "I'm glad that you finally came to your senses." So Tariq hung up the phone because Diana called him and she says that she needs him. And so Tariq told her he's on his way. So that's going to lead us into closing the episode up with the Tejada family. All right, you guys. So closing with the Tejada. So we see Diana. This episode opened with Diana in a hospital. So, Diana found out that she lost a baby. I hate that for her. She started crying. And Tariq told her, "You know what? I got you. I'm here for you," right? He said Monet is also on the way. So this is when Diana got pissed off at him and told him to leave. And so when he left, Monet was out there. And so Monet asked him, like, how's Diana? He said, "Go see for yourself." She said, "What about the baby?" And he didn't say anything, right? So after that, my God, the music is getting louder downstairs. I really hope you guys don't hear that. I really, guys. So when Monet went into Diana's room, she's like, "Damn." I was like, "Damn, lady." Like, I mean, I get it. She looks bad, but damn is what you can say to your daughter. Like, oh my God, Diana, I am so sorry. But she did eventually say that, right? So she did thank Tariq for, before Tariq left, she did thank him for calling her and getting Diana to the hospital, right? So Monet told Diana, like, yo, we're going to get through this. And she said, the person who did this, I'm gonna put them in the ground, right? So Diana says it was that bitch Felicia. And Kane came in and asked, who is Felicia? He said, who the fuck is Felicia? Monet says, it's not the time, Kane. And she says, we need to focus on Diana. He says, obviously that's why I'm here. And he said, because you don't have this under control. And she said, don't that bitch Noma have some work for you to do? I was like, Monet, are you jealous? Because you're giving off a little bit of jealousy, mama. So he said to Diana, when she fucks this shit up, call me. So Diana, when Kane left, Diana said, Ma, he just wants to help. She's like, I know he does, but I don't want him to be involved with this creepy Don shit. And I was like, that makes sense, Monet. So then we see Drew. So Drew is still in the jail. We all know that. And Drew is talking to this guy named Keon looking for Roman, right? So the Keon dude is like, are you concussed? Looking for Roman? He's like, if Roman see me and you talking to each other, Roman is gonna take me and you out. And Roman came up and he was like, basically said that. So I'm like, he's right. I'm gonna take you and that bitch out. I was like, excuse you, sir? Who are you talking to? But just because you got a band of dudes behind you don't mean nothing. Especially when it comes to this crazy motherfucker Drew. Just let that be known. But I noticed that one of the guards looked at Drew and he basically gave him a head nod. I was like, oh, so you in on it too, huh? So are you part of Creepy Don Squad? That's so weird. That's so weird to me. When I literally sit here and think about this, did they book Drew? Like, because I'm so confused. Like, did y'all book Drew? What is Drew in jail for? How long is Drew supposed to be in jail? Not that it's a lot of things that just make you go, when it comes to power, right? So we see Kane. So Kane went to go see Noma and Davis was still there. And I'm assuming that Noma and Davis just did the nasty because Davis's towel was loose, but he had his shirt and pants on, right? And he was tucked in. They were tucked, right? But Noma had on her house, her house coat, right? I was like, oh, this hoe just thinks with her puss. That is all that hoe do. So Kane is jealous, asking Davis, like, are you that desperate that you're making house calls now? I was like, well, he did. He definitely made a house call and a booty call because he smashing that. So when he left, Kane asked her, like, so you hitting that? You letting him hit? But Noma, actually, before Davis left, he told Noma, think over the options that I proposed to you, right? So Kane said that, he hopes that was about the Wiley replacement and not her letting him hit. I was like, ain't you over there also smashing Effie? Like, you've been smashing Effie and this woman who thinks with her puss. Like, literally, she thinks with her fucking puss. And it's just like, girl, you are too fucking old to be thinking with your puss. Damn too old. Too damn old, right? So she told him, I don't have to explain myself to you, but he wants to talk about Effie, right? And he says that Effie wants out after this shit with the Russians. So she said, well, where was all this thinking that came when you were doing this pissing competition with Zion, causing issues for me? And he was like, I know you don't think that you can trust Tariq and Davis. She was like, well, Tariq took out Zion for me, and Davis is trying to help me with this Wiley situation. But you said that you were going to help me. He was like, but I've been holding you down since you've been here, right? And she says, I don't trust either one of them, and I damn sure don't trust your little girlfriend Effie, right? So she tells him, like, she wants to know who the fuck is tipping off Creepy Don, right? Now we see Diana. Diana is, she's talking to Monet, telling her how that bitch Felicia is hers, right? And Monet said to her, like, taking out a cop ain't the way out of the game, Diana. And Diana says, Ma, I ain't thinking about out the game. She took something from me, and I want her to pay for me losing my baby, right? So Monet said, well, I'm going to go see Creepy Don later. And Diana says she's doing it, and she doesn't give a fuck what Creepy Don has to say, right? She's off in that bitch. I was like, girl, you are damned and determined. And I'm not mad at you, right? I ain't mad at Diana for wanting to take out the bitch because I think she's a weirdo, but hey, it is what it is, right? Now, we see Monet. Monet went to go see Creepy Don. She told him how Felicia beat the hell out of Diana and she lost her baby. And he's telling her he don't know shit about this, right? So she told him like she wants to take the bitch out because that'll be a favor for him. And he told her, no way, Red. He was like, I can come into your house and do whatever I want to do, but it doesn't work the opposite way for you. I was like, when I literally sit and think about this with Creepy Don, yes, he's a cop. Yes, he can fabricate evidence, right? But why don't y'all record this motherfucker? Like, y'all could get the upper hand over him. Like he is doing so much stuff. Like, and here lately, he's looking a little sloppy to me. But maybe I'm overthinking things. I don't know, but it is what it is, right? So Monet texts Diana saying no luck with Creepy Don, so she's gonna go see Davis. And Diana said, "Fuck Creepy Don." So her other phone rang and it was Drew, and she says, "Are you okay?" He says, "I'm good, Diana." And she told him about getting beat up. He said, "What about the baby?" He says, and she got quiet. He told her, "You know what? I'm so sorry." He says, "I'll take care of it." She said, "You sound just like Monet, who was out there trying to help." He told her to tell Monet not to do shit. And he's telling Diana she can't take out a cop. And Diana told him that's exactly what she's going to do. Now, we see Kane and Effie. So he told Effie that they just need to get a name for Noma they needed a name for Noma to snitch that they need a name for Noma about the snitch who almost, got her popped with the Russian so that way she can leave and go to Stanford. Is she trying to go to Stanford? Yeah, that's what it is. So she said, well, it could be in the police database, but, it probably wouldn't have a name. And so Kane is like, girl, if you want out, you're going to have to figure out, you're going to have to work with me to get this taken care of, right? So she was like, well, all I would need is a cop's laptop to be able to get into the database, right? So we see as Braden is at the dorm going over, the stuff that they're trying to sell, right? But he also took a bump. I was like, God dog, Braden, you really are turning into Tommy. So they came in asking for a favor. And Braden was like, wait a minute, but y'all done fucked us over numerous times. Why should I help y'all? And so he says, you know what? What's in it? He said, I need something from you guys. And so they asked him, what is it? What do you want? So he told him he wants the course correct knockoff and he wants Stansfield. So Effie was like, if you do this with me, you can have Stansfield and the Ivy Leagues. And Kane was looking at her like, the fuck? She's like, I got this, Kane. So we see as they're at this outside of a cop's house, right? So they're not, if worse goes worse, they're gonna just do it as a B&E, right? But what they did was they went up to the cop's door. They pretended that someone was stealing their car, and that they called the cops, and Braden got beat up, right? So the cop's wife was reluctant to let them in, but she eventually let them in. So she was cleaning up Braden's wound, and then Effie noticed that Effie had some blood on her neck, right? So Effie's like, "Where's your restroom at?" So she told her it's down the hall, right? So Effie went towards the restroom, turned the water on, and closed the door behind her, right? And then she went into the cop's study, found a laptop, and she was able to get into the laptop. So then Braden is still up there with the wife, and she's like, "I thought y'all said y'all were going to NYU." And so she went down the hallway looking for Effie, knocking on the door. And so Effie texts Kane telling, go time, right? So Kane came and knocked on, actually Braden went to the kitchen to get a knife. Kane knocked on the door, pretending to be Ramirez, saying that he got a call about a B&E, right? So Effie was able to get what she needed. And so they left, and I hollered when he said to Braden, "Come on, Caucasian male." I hollered when that fool said, "Come on, Caucasian male." That shit took me out. That took me out. Now we move back over to the jail with Drew. So a cop came up to Drew's cell, slipped a little piece of paper in there, and on the paper it said Roman and 13. So I'm assuming Roman is in cell 13, right? And we see as Roman is in his cell just going to Pound Town on, well, I don't even know if that's called Pound Town. I don't know if we would call that Pound. Well, yeah. He was going to town on his Johnson, right? And so Drew came in, got behind him, and to him, right? Then we see as Drew made it look as if Roman took himself out. I was like, oh, wow. We're going dark with that part, but okay. So then we move over to Diana. So Diana went over to Felicia's home, right? And she was holding Felicia at gunpoint. And Felicia was like, let's calm down. Let's talk about this. I was like, girl, I know you fucking lying. Let's calm down and talk about the fact that you beat me up and I lost my baby. Bitch, you. And that's basically what Diana said, right? So she's telling Diana, like, this isn't what you want to do. You don't want to take out a cop. Girl, I want to take out you and that whole organization, girl. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck Carter. Fuck Nico. Fuck anybody else in the organization, right? So, now I was like, Diana, girl, you holding this gun on this bitch. I hope you are prepared to use it. Girl, I was also thinking, like, I hope you know this bitch get the drop on you. And that is exactly what happened. The girl got the drop on her. They were struggling over that gun. I was like, is it about to go off? Nope, it didn't go off. It fell on the floor. Then they were fighting, right? At one point, she was getting the best of Diana again. I was like, Diana, that bitch already whooped your ass once. Let's not do it the second time. So then the woman put a plastic bag over Diana's head. I was like, oh my God, Diana. Girl, bob and weave. Step on the bitch's foot. Elbow the bitch. Do something to the bitch. Grab the bitch's hair. Do something to this hoe. Like, do something to her. But Diana was able to get her, right? And get the bag off of herself. And then Diana saw that hoe on the ground. And she saw a skillet. I was like, Diana, you finna play grip ball with her head? She said, I absolutely am. And Diana was like, bop, bop, bop. And then when she looked up, she saw some kids' toys. I was like, oh, this hoe got a son. So that's when she called Tariq and asked Tariq to come and help her, right? So we moved back over to Effie and Kane. They are really playing a lot of loud music downstairs. I hope you guys don't hear. I really pray that you guys don't hear. So Effie and Kane are talking about, you know, the fact that when it came to the Russian bus, that Creepy Don and his crew, they lied about what they had, right? Because she had the payment, Noma's payment from the Russians, and they said that they got less money than what they actually did. So now that they know that the cops are dirty. She has a file on Nico and I know it was Nico and Felicia. Kane saw the file on Felicia, so he said he was gonna go take that information to Noma. And then when he left, he called up Monet. He was like, Monet, please tell me you're not mixed up with this dirty cop bullshit, right? So Monet got home and she went to look for Diana, but she saw that her gun was gone, right? Drew got his ass out of jail and Creepy Don was there. He's telling Creepy Don like, yo, me and you, we need to make a deal right about now, sir. And Creepy Don told him, nigga, you ain't in no position to try to make a deal with me. Like, I can throw you, your mama, and your sister back into a jail cell, right? So Creepy Don wants to know that they won't retaliate and that they won't be a problem. I was like, too late for that one, sir, because Diana done already took out Felicia. So he got a text from Monet saying that Diana is handling it on her own. So we moved back over to Felicia's crib, and Diana and Tariq are there. The little boy comes and sees them, and they both pretended they're officers, saying that his mama is working a late shift. I was like, oh, fuck. So Diana asked him, do he like a bedtime story? He said yes. So Diana says, well, go back upstairs and I'll come there and read one to you. I was like, you gonna do what? Okay, cool, I guess. So we see Diana as she read the little boy up. Actually, let's backtrack real quick. Kane went back over to Noma's and he told her about Creepy Don being a dirty cop. So she asked him, like, who is his informant? He says he doesn't know, but he will find out. So then Kane suggests to Noma that they get married and that'll solve her, you know, her immigration status. I was like, will it? I don't know if it will or not, but I know this whole thing with her puss. That's all that hoe do is just think with her puss. Now, back over to Diana. Diana is reading the little boy a bedtime story. She put the book back and left out and closed the door. I was like, oh my God, girlfriend, rookie mistake. You should have took that book with you because you ain't got no gloves on at this point, and you damn sure shouldn't have touched that door because you ain't got no gloves on. So they went downstairs. So Tariq told Diana he knows what she's going through because he let her know about Raina and him taking out Ray, right? So Monet came in And she told Diana she gotta go. And they told her, hey, she got a kid upstairs and he saw us. And she's like, fuck. She's like, I'll take care of it. I was like, Monet, I know you don't like your kids, but girl, that is an innocent child. Don't hurt him. So as Tariq and Diana were getting ready to leave, Drew and Creepy Don came in. Creepy Don is pissed off, but he says that Drew has told him everything. He asked Monet, like, why did you lie to me, saying that you got the drugs from the Russians? And she was like, well, since Drew told you everything, who did I get them from? He said, you got them from Noma. So he's basically saying to Monet, like, Monet, Tariq, Diana, like, Drew saved y'all because he would take them all down for this. But he says, what I want for y'all to do is for y'all to get some leverage so he can go against Noma, and maybe he will change this from a murder to an accident, right? So Monet just looking at Drew in disgust, and I am too. And y'all know I can't stand Monet. Y'all know I can't stand fucking Monet. So when Tariq walked by, he said, welcome to the team. I was like, not for long, you mother. Not for long. Not for very long. But that's the episode, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode of Power Book 2 Ghost. I always have to get it correct. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn your post notifications, share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe. Take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. If I did leave anything out that you guys want to discuss, we can discuss it in the comment section below. Bye.